started on our phonics. So for this first time, I'm just going to say the words and you're listening, okay? All right. All. You don't have to repeat them. You can just listen this time, okay? Any. Goes. New. Number. Understand. Right. Says. Work. And other. Alright, now it's your turn to say them. You ready? Alright, I want to hear everybody.
Goes. Any. All. New.
New.
Another.
Other. Ooh, let's try that one again.
Understand. Number. Says. Right. Work.
Good. Alright, and we are going to talk about our phonics skill. Let's refresh our memories. When we hear the letters name, like when we hear A, E, I, O, U, is that long or short? When we hear the letters name, that's long. And now when we just hear that ah, what is that?
Short.
Short, okay? Now we have our consonant vowel pattern, and we have our little rhyme that we learned last week, and I will say it again and let you guys repeat after me. When two vowels get together, let's try it again. When two vowels get together, it's like a game.
It's like a game.
The first vowel speaks.
The first vowel speaks.
It says its letter name.
It says its letter name.
So that first vowel is going to say its letter name. So is it going to be long or short?
No.
Long, if it's saying its letter name. Like pipe, hike, line, or five. You hear that I. Alright, here are our vocabulary words. We have check, which means to look at something closely. So when we take our math test on the back where it has the three little checks and it says, have you checked your answers, right? Have you gone back and checked to make sure? That is to look at something closely and make sure that you did it. Tools, equipment used to make or repair things. So like a hammer or a screwdriver or a drill, right? Those are all tools. Choose. Choose is decide on one thing rather than something else. So when you go through the lunch line every day, first thing you do, what do you have to choose? Your milk. You have to choose, do you want the chocolate, the vanilla, or the strawberry, right? You have to choose, you have to decide on one thing rather than the other. Chores. Raise your hand if you know what chores are, because you do them. Yeah? Okay. Chores are small jobs that you do around the house. Someone give me an example of a chore that they have. Laundry?
No, vacuum.
Oh, vacuuming. Good.
I have to take out the trash.
Take out the trash.
Clean up the house.
Clean up the whole house.
Sweep around for trash.
Sweep around.
Clean the bathroom.
Clean the bathroom. Anybody else have a different one?
Clean the room.
Clean your room. Yes, those are all chores. Those are small jobs that you do around your house. Cost. Cost is how much you will have to pay. So if you want to get a candy bar at the gas station, you have to know how much it costs so that you can know how much money you need to pay for it. That is the cost of something, how much money you need to get it. Customers. Customers are people who buy something from a store. So when you go with your parents to the grocery store, y'all are customers at the store because you're going to buy things from the store, right? When you go to Chick-fil-A, you're a customer at Chick-fil-A because you're going to buy food, right? Jobs. Jobs are work that people do for money. Okay? So whereas chores, sometimes you may get an allowance if you do chores, but most of the time you're just doing the chores to help out. When you do a job, like when I get up and I come to work every day, teaching is my job, so that is what I do to make money, right? Those are jobs. Spend. What is spending? When you're spending, what are you doing?
Wasting.
You're taking your money and you're giving it away to get something, right? That is the money that you're using to buy or pay for something. That's how much you are spending. Okay, we are going to talk about dialogue. Okay? Dialogue means when a character is talking in a story. So, think of an AR book that you read this morning. At some point in the story, did the characters talk to each other or say something? Pretty much every story ever that's a fiction story is going to have that in it, right? Maybe not so much in nonfiction. So dialogue is in a lot of the stories that we read. So this top sentence, Mom told me to clean my room. That is not dialogue. That is just someone saying what their mom said. Now, this bottom one is dialogue. It says, clean your room, said Mom. It's telling you exactly what Mom said whenever she told the little girl to go clean her room, right? Does anybody notice a difference? They're basically saying the same thing, but there are some differences in the two, in the top one and the bottom one. What's one thing different that you notice?
Just like the two little dots floating in the air around it.
The two little dots floating in the air, right? They kind of look like, do they look like macaroni noodles?
Yeah.
Kinda. Or like floating commas, right?
Yeah.
Like, but they have a Twinkie with them. It's two commas, two floating commas. What else do you notice?
Period.
It does have a period at the end. What else?
Is it something that's the same?
Yes, they do mean the same thing. Anything different?
They don't have this. They have same words, but one of them don't have the same words.
Right. One of them doesn't have those. We called them floating commas that are floating up in the sky commas. Those are called quotation marks. Can everybody say quotation marks?
Quotation marks.
And do like this with your fingers. Quotation marks. Like we're making a set of them. Alright? Good. Quotation marks go around the words that the character said. The exact words that the character said, okay? They always have to be in pairs, okay? So do you see how we have one set of quotation marks here? At the beginning, before what the character said, and then we're always going to have them at the end, okay? So they kind of go around what the character said, okay? Now, there will also be a comma. Do you notice how there is a comma right there before said? And then right there, there's a comma after said? The comma is going to go either before or after the part of the sentence that says, who said the quote? Okay, so it says, the dog is barking too loud, comma, said the girl. In the next sentence, the person that said it comes before the quote. So it says, Mom said, comma, go to your room. Okay? Now, we are going to practice this, okay? So I'm going to get some helpers to tell me where I should put my quotation marks. All right, don't forget your lunch, yelled Mom. Way back there. Nope, just tell me where they would go. Before what word? Not quite. Remember, they're going to go around what the person said. So what did Mom say? Don't forget your lunch. So where are my quotation marks going to go in front of? Help her out.
Lunch.
Not in front of lunch.
Forget.
No, it's going to go around the whole thing that Mom said. Don't. So we're going to put our first one here. And remember, they go together. There's 2 of them. Now, don't forget your lunch, yelled Mom. What is the last word that Mom said?
Lunch.
Lunch. All she said was, don't forget your lunch. So where am I going to put my second set of quotation marks?
After lunch.
After lunch. Like this. Does that make sense to everyone? It's kind of like making an Oreo, right? Or a sandwich. You've got your 2 quotation marks on the outside, and then what the person said in the middle. And on this one, we do not need a comma because Mom was shouting because she was yelling, probably as the little kid was going out the door, don't forget your lunch. So we don't need a comma because there's already another punctuation there, okay? Can I sit with you? Asked Wendy. Can I sit with you? Asked Wendy. Where would my first quotation marks go?
Can.
In front of can. Because that is the beginning of what Wendy said. Now, where would my second set go?
You.
After you. And will we need a comma? Or is there already another punctuation there?
There's already another.
There's already another punctuation, so we don't need to worry about the comma. Okay? I asked, may I hold the baby? Where would my first quotation marks go? In front of, well, is the person saying, I asked? What is the person saying in the sentence? I'll move over here so you can see.
May I hold the baby?
They're asking, may I hold the baby? So where are my quotation marks going to start? In front of what word?
Ask.
Not asked. Help them out.
May.
In front of the word may, in front of that M in may. I asked, may I hold the baby? Question mark. Now where are my second quotes going to go?
Baby.
After baby. And do I need a comma or did they already put one there?
They
Already put it there, so we're good. Alright, and the last one says, put your name on the paper, said Mrs. Cook. Put your name on the paper, said Mrs. Cook. Where is my first quotation marks going to go? In front of put. Because what is Miss Cook saying?
Put your name on the paper.
That's what she's actually saying. So where are my second quotations going to go?
Behind paper.
Behind paper and behind that comma. Put your name on the paper, said Mrs. Cook. And do we need to add any punctuation or did they already put that comma in there? They already put the comma in there. Make sure you're sitting up and that your elbows aren't on your desk. Sit up straight and tall. Thank you. Alright. Very good. So remember, they're going around exactly what the character is saying or the person in the sentence is saying. Alright. So again, here's another example. Not dialogue. Miss Ferguson told me to sit down. Dialogue would be, Miss Ferguson said, sit down. Those are the exact words that she used with those quotations around it. Everybody show me the quotations. Yep. Alright. Now, we're going to practice on a couple more sentences. It says, time for school, Mom called. Where would they go? In front of time. And where else? After school, because what did Mom call out?
Time for school.
Time for school. Do we need to add any punctuation or did they already do it?
They already do it.
Good to go. I did it, she exclaimed.
Did.
In front of the word did? What about the word I? What did she say?
I did it.
I did it. So, we would put some quotation marks in front of I. And then where would my next ones go? quotation marks go?
But
In front of I? Because who is speaking in the sentence? Kevin. So we're not going to put quotation marks around Kevin. That's who said it. We're going to put them around exactly what he said. And where would my closing or my second quotation marks go?
said, like, you said one of your,
After what word? I am so hungry. Where would my second? No. We have to. What is the whole thing that Kevin said? You tell me. What did Kevin say?
Kevin said, I am so hungry.
So Kevin's words were, I am so hungry. So we have our first quotation marks right there. And we're not going to put quotation marks again until Kevin's done talking. What is the last word Kevin said?
Hungry.
Hungry. So where am I going to put the quotation marks?
Hungry.
After hungry. Good. And the last one. Lucy said, I am going to swing today. I am going to swing today. Where would my first go? In front of I? And then where would my second one go?
Today.
Yes, I am going to swing today because the whole thing that Lucy said was, I am going to swing today.